Hey guys, welcome to another interview. I'm joined with Matt Strangio. For those who don't know who Matt is, he's a senior at Jesuit High School. He's a cross country runner and a distance track runner. He's one of the fastest runners in the nation, and recently got fourth at Nike Cross National with a time of 15:08. Thanks for being on this interview, and let's first start off of like how did the race go overall for you?
Yeah. First, thanks for having me. And it was definitely good. I think especially kind of in the end, the first kind of 2 miles felt a little bit sluggish actually, and just kind of trying to stay as close as I could to Cole Sprout and EJ Holland, or just kind of just knowing them and kind of knowing their ability and being friends with them. I was just kind of like, okay, I know I'm as good as these guys. I can just stay near them. And then just before it kind of coming together at that finishing that last mile, just kind of you kind of hit a downhill right before 4K, and I was just kind of able to like really get my stride going and started passing some people. The final quarter mile was just really able to kind of go and kind of make a big move, and then a big final 200 was kind of what got me into fourth. I think it was in like ninth or 10th going to the mile. So yeah, it was good. It was a little unsuspecting of how cold and wet it was going to be with it, being dry before. Obviously I checked the weather and saw showers, so we were prepared. But I think just I wasn't really expecting it to be as bad as it was. I think it was the worst weather of all 3 years I've been there. And I talked to one of my Portland or future Portland teammates who said it hadn't rained in like a month, and for the course to kind of just get shredded by and like the loops we'd run through and spectators running across was kind of insane, and a little unpredictable for us, but we got it done, and I think coming out with a time and a place that I'm pretty happy with, and confident I can do better in track and get more into my distance. But yeah, just happy and excited for what's going to come. Really.
Nice, yeah. Because I was just watching the race footage, a couple hours ago. Like, yeah, you definitely caught up a lot. Like, definitely, you were like around like ninth and tenth place, and definitely caught up at the end with the kick after the hill,
Yeah.
for sure. And I think this year is like the most like fastest, like I think fastest year for like cross. Like it's stacked. Like that's one of the best at NXN. Sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just like the guys, even just like the guys who went to NXN. I mean, there's definitely one or two that didn't, noticeably. Oh my God, I'm shooting myself in the foot because I can't remember. Graydon Morris hasn't done NXN. He's always been a footlocker guy.
Okay.
He's very good. But even with like the top 10 were all seniors. Like Nico,
Right.
Cole Sprout, Josh Menther, all those guys were just crazy stacked field, and conditions being as bad as they were. The times were just insane. Nico getting the course record with like how bad it was
Oh yeah.
is like still mind blowing, because it was like I think it was at least like 10, 15 seconds slower than last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Like imagine like how fast you could have went if the weather was better. And that guy's a
Yeah.
beast. Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, and he definitely ran like the smartest, like getting out to the front like that. I was kind of, I think kind of caught everyone off guard, and then not having to like run where other people have run, if that makes sense. Because like once you come through like some of the sections we run twice, or just even like behind people, like it just gets chewed up. So with him being in front, like that was honestly like probably the smartest thing he could have done with the type of runner he is.
Yeah.
So like that was, and just it was able to just kind of blow us all away with saying.
So how did you feel overall during the race? Did everything feel good?
Honestly, I didn't even feel good until like a K to go. I just felt
Okay.
DJ Holland described it very well when we were talking after. It was like we were kind of running backwards with how being like taller and heavier,
Right.
with how muddy it was. It was just like it was hard to kind of like get strides like consistent, and like just be like like just overall like consistent throughout the race. So it was a lot of trying to find like, okay, this is like a spot of like firm grass where I can kind of go for a few, like 20, 30 meters before hitting mud and like getting slowed down. I think for me it was like pretty big, surging on the downhills, where being a bigger guy helps. Um, and just finally getting into a rhythm with 1K to go, and grinding it out, started feeling good there. But there's always times at NXN where you're like, I'm cold, we're running crazy fast, and this hurts so much. It's like I could just let up now, and but you got to tell yourself that you can't. You're here for a reason. You're trying to do your best.
Right.
So we push on.
So,
But yeah, kind of just getting the negative thoughts out, and staying strong. Just trusting the training. That eventually I'll feel good. And it finally came in 1K, and was just able to pass a bunch of guys. So yeah, it was great.
And getting that experience like last year running it and getting eighth, like what was your goal going into the race?
Obviously the goal was to win. It was but I knew crazy talented field. Even getting top five. We were all it's all crazy. Just the best, truly probably the best field in history for that.
Yeah.
That race I can say pretty confidently.
Right.
And just oh, sorry, I'm in a bit of a cold. Probably up too late on Saturday, but cold. But it was just so I'm sorry, I just completely forgot the question. Yeah, what was the question again? Sorry.
Yeah, no problem, dude. It's all good. Yeah, so what was your goal going to the race? Getting.
Oh yeah, right.
Last year.
Yeah, the goal was definitely to win. Like I said a couple of seconds ago before I spaced out. But I knew toughest field ever. It was gonna be. I don't think a long shot, but just a lot of things that could have gone right for a lot of people, that would make it pretty hard to win. And just focusing on doing however it played out, doing the best that I could, which I think I did. With how I was feeling on the day, gritting it out for the last 1K after feeling pretty lousy was, I think pretty good for me, and something that I'm happy with. But wanting to win, that's the guy I am. Also, I like winning, and being the best is my goal, which hopefully I can do in track, and show that fourth, while definitely was something I'm happy with, that I can do better, and hope to do better soon.
Nice. So did you like the course, going to golf course?
I really like that course. Kind of that course, our state meet course, are just kind of courses that I have just kind of down. I can literally tell you turn for turn, while maybe my description of it, with words, isn't the best, but just being able, I can visualize Glendovier and Woodward Park very well. So yeah, definitely, a course I like. Having run on it 3 times is definitely an advantage. I feel, knowing the kind of ins and outs, to where if it's me knowing what I know, with versus if I had an identical twin that's exactly as fast as me that had never run on it before, I'm going to do things slightly different. There's right where you pass the 2 mile mark, for example. It gets it's also where start and you take that left turn. It's that straightaway. You can get along the fence and get very muddy and hard to run. So I kind of honestly all 3 years have kind of straight out to where it's more solid ground. And my coaches and people that were watching at home thought I was dropping out with about 600 left, when really I was just kind of running where it was firmer ground. And I think that was kind of big for me, especially because that was kind of where I got going, and I was able to feel good. So I think just liking that course and having it memorized is something that was pretty important for me, how I did.
Nice. Yeah, it's such a beautiful course too, because I ran it the day before for the practice run, and I love the trees. It's a very beautiful course to run on.
Yeah, definitely. It's super nice scenery, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So were you surprised the way you performed, and kind of expected the way you end up performing?
I don't think I was surprised by it. I'm definitely confident in myself. I knew going in that it would be tough, but I thought, that I had a chance of winning. Well, maybe, not everything was going in my favor with conditions and how the race ended up going with Nico taking it out. I'd have preferred everyone to be together and then kind of that final K for the big move to be made and, be able to use my speed to kind of, win the thing. But, Nico made it his race and, so props to him. And, I just did the best I could with, what was given to me. And, so definitely happy with how I did. But, I think, that race could have gone a bunch of ways. And, one or two of those ways could have gone my way. But, it didn't. So I'm just going to wait to track to show that I'm the best, I guess. But, yeah, definitely happy with, how I finished and everything.
Nice.
Not upset with fourth, or how I did, but definitely wanting more.
Got it. And like, what does it mean to you? Like, like some of your thoughts and reflecting, the past couple of days after you finish NXN, like just realizing that you just finished your last high school cross country race at NXN this past weekend.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely kind of crazy, and it's kind of fitting. Pretty cultivating to I think how my cross country experience ended. It would have been great to have the team there, and I think we would have. If we were there, we would have justified us being there. But Brandon's a Cali individual, and I think kind of having my Portland guys, future teammates there, had a few people drove up, family of some friends. Um, I had the team watching at home. It was like a really great send off, I think, and a nice just finish. Maybe not on the highest note that I wanted to, but definitely on a high note. And happy with how it ended. And happy with how everything went for all 4 years. I was able to stay injury free this season, which is always something I go for. Which I found a little harder in cross than in track. But just was really happy with how the whole season was. And NXN was kind of that cherry on top.
Nice. And like NXN has like so much pressure. Like, what kind of pressure like do you feel, especially during the race?
Yeah, NXN is always, there's always the hype, there's the pre-race, they're throwing rankings in our face, and there's all these, a lot of it was I think centered on Nico versus Cole,
Right.
which is kind of nice for me, being one of the dark horses. I think I was ranked like 7th or something, going into it, and so just kind of, being able to, take that, be like, okay. They have me at 7th. I want to do better than 7th, at least. I mean, I personally want to win. But, having them rank me at 7th, feeling I can win is kind of nice for me. And, we get around all the cameras and stuff. And, I've been getting interviewed since I was sophomore year. And, every single one of my races is on YouTube. So I don't really feel the pressure that other guys do, the being around cameras, which I think is really nice. You kind of underappreciate that until you get to those big races and you see that one kid that goes out, tries to go out with Nico or something, or at Clovis, one kid ran 4:20 and ended up running 17 minutes or something. Just because he wanted to be on camera with Nico or whatever. I don't know what the plan was. But we just kind of and then I also I like the pressure. I like the bigger races are the ones that are the most fun for me. With kind of nice with all the elite camp and stuff, and this being my third time, is I know a lot of the people that are around me, so it's always fun. Was able to be the second guy to finish from elite camp, which is nice, and beating some of my more close friends is always fun, so I can rub it in later. But yeah, just I think pressure for me is something I actually really enjoy and can thrive off of. So it wasn't too bad for me.
And there's still so many other runners from the NXN and the elite camp. I saw you guys taking a group picture, together at the the Tiger Woods Center, the Nike sign.
Mhm.
All right. So, yeah, how's your your light training the week of NXN?
Yeah, I mean, we did, I think the same thing we did last year. 8 mile run on Monday. We did 8 400s with a little bit less rest. I mean, we did them on 2:15 instead of 2:30, which you'd be surprised how much 15 seconds can make up. Because in season, I was doing 10 by 400, all sub 60. This one, it was like 8 of them, and it was like those last few were just such a grind. Um, and then just feeling good going into it. This year, I actually did a tempo on Thursday and some 150s, just kind of to feel extra good. Um, and didn't realize it went 440 pace on the Nike track. That can happen. Get a little excited when you're on that thing, but it didn't
Oh
feel
yeah.
too bad. I didn't feel like sore or anything after. Ripped some 150s, was feeling fast, and gonna do that pre-race on Friday. Give the other California guys a little bit of insight for their first time on the course, and
Nice. Yeah, dude, I ran
you
the.
know, enjoying the experience of it all, and cultivating it through the race.
Nice. Yeah, dude, I ran on the Michael Johnson track. Like, it's so nice. See, like when you go on that track, especially at nighttime, you feel fast, dude.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It feels like you feel like it's short. I mean, it's not. But you just like with the trees and stuff, and just kind of it being almost fabled. It's just so cool to run
Nice.
on. Like it's just such a great experience every time.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I'll say this, like my favorite like track I ran on. I really like it.
For sure.
And yeah, how's it like being like part of like the individual team, and how's that like be able to have that close bond, and like do you already know like the other runners on the team?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely great. As especially watching kind of the bonds grow throughout the trip. I think especially like after, because obviously there's nerves before, and it's
Right.
guys you're competing against. While you are on like a team in sense, you are really competing against each other.
Right.
So there can be some nerves. There's never been any issues between individuals in my experience for the California teams, um, which is good. And then so we were just able to kind of. I think this group was a pretty focused one, which was nice. It wasn't too much of the we need to go and like be running around the whole time. It was like, no, we're gonna go to the athlete Q&A, get off our feet for a little bit, and like we're gonna have our fun, but like we're here to race, which was good. And after the race was kind of like I think for us was like really fun, and like we got to have a bunch of fun together. Um, Especially at the dance, it was great. And just had a great time with those guys. Sure I'll be seeing them in track, but it's gonna be great.
Right.
And it's definitely friends that I'll remember, and the guys that aren't committed, joking about like hey you need to come to Portland and be my teammate and that sort of thing. Half joking, it'd be great to have any of those guys there. Come to Portland, guys.
Nice.
um, but yeah, definitely like friends that I'll be seeing more of, and I'm happy I'll be seeing more of them because they're great guys.
That's cool. It's like great opportunity, like just to get to know more about them and like meet new people for sure and build that relationship.
Yeah,
And yeah, speaking of the party, like you mentioned, how was the party at the hotel? Like I heard from one of the runners on Saturday night, it's like prom for runners.
yeah. It's a lot of fun. You just kind of you meet with your friends in the hotel before, down the or in your room before, you go down to the lobby and meet each other there. You go in, it's like, oh, there's all these guys that I watch, see videos of, and all this sort of thing, and definitely one of the more fun, dances, even compared to a school dance almost, just because everyone's kind of in there having a good time. There's no, it's not like a boyfriend girlfriend dynamic, so everyone's just kind of going and having fun. Um, giant. If you watch Easton Allred's vlog, you'll
Yeah, I saw
see
it.
kind of mosh pits. He crowd surfed.
Yeah,
I crowd surfed twice. I got, it was a lot of fun. And just kind of those are some more fun memories. And for us seniors, it's like, like we're going to have fun. Our cross country career in high school is over. Like let's dance the night away and have some fun. So it was great.
Nice. Yeah, I saw Easton's video. Like, is it like majority? Because like everybody at NXN is huge. Are you them there or like
I would say about half go
half?
normally. There's about 400. I think 406 was the exact number that they
Okay.
mentioned. But yeah, so oh, excuse me. A lot of people go. People do come earlier than others, and people leave earlier than others. So, I'd say like at least 3/4 of the people are there. Maybe like most like 250 in the room at one time. It's definitely a lot of fun.
Nice. Was there food in there as well, or not?
There was some like snacks and like some waters and stuff, but like there wasn't any like like meal stuff. Which is probably a good thing because those runners go harder than you think on a dance floor.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. So, did you like what are some of your like reflections and thoughts and like all the success you had in high school and like looking back of like how much you've grown as a runner and like all the things that you achieved?
Yeah, it's definitely crazy because I still remember my first practice showing up as basically still an eighth grader and showing up knowing literally no one there, coming from a public school that's not even in the same town. And then next thing there's a bunch of guys taking their shirts off, and you're like, what is going on? And it was like so crazy. And then just being, freshman year, I ended up being our like second, third guy. And so like just kind of going out and like the guys knew who I was coming in and that I'd run pretty fast in middle school off of playing soccer. So they hatched a plan to rope me in and get me away from soccer. I found out later. And they started the varsity guys before the freshmen, and so they waited, and kind of ran super slow for me to catch up, basically. Um, and wrote me in. The Sean Curdy, who had just graduated, broke a nine into the California State meet. Started talking to me, and Ben Holland, Brandon Jones started talking to me. And those are all great guys. So it was like, man, this is awesome. And then, I remember them being like, why are you still wearing your shirt? And, so finishing the run, feeling kind of like one of the guys was just, super cool. And, freshman year, was pretty, like, it was way better than I thought it was going to be. Winning, like, the first freshman race by a lot. Was not expecting that. And then they're like, oh, you're going to run varsity. And by the way, there's another freshman that's going to be running varsity. I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. And then being our second man by like a second. I think Brandon Jones didn't run that race. Was just like so cool to me. And I was like, oh man, like I'm actually good at this. And like I'm a freshman. This is awesome. And I quit soccer. I'd been doing soccer practice and games like the whole summer, and then school started. And I was like, nope, done. I'm running now. And just growing those friendships, throughout freshman year. Unfortunately, I got injured in the pool during PE and put me out for a lot of the season. But what can you do when you're forced to tread water for an entire period and you don't normally use those muscles? But yeah, I'm just like coming back. I had like a really, time wise, I ran like 45 seconds slower at state than into Clovis, but I've been running for a week. And so it was just like, kind of that was like my probably one of two bad races I've had or bad races for being 1 week back was like more than I thought or anyone thought I was going to do. So, they just having, a really good freshman year that, got me to fall in love with running. Sophomore year, kind of taking a step up and, making NXN was just insane. Like, I didn't even know what NXN was until they called me.
Okay.
Like which was kind of funny. And then I was like, we knew about Foot Locker. Coach Lang never told me about NXN. Because I didn't think I'd get an invite because there's only 5. So he's just like, oh, we'll just do Foot Locker. I'll spare him of being close and missing NXN. And somehow the invite fell to me. And then was just kind of able that sophomore year to be like, I'm a sophomore. No one's gonna remember how I do here if I suck. So I'm just gonna go out towards the front. And then got told K to go and was like, I still feel good, and I'm in like 22nd, and there's 21 All-Americans, so I'm just gonna go for it. And was able to pass 7 guys. Oh, nice voice crack. In that last 1K, finish All-American. Like that was so insane to me, which that was kind of what kickstarted, like what ended up being like a great and apparently historic sophomore track season. Beating Justin Hazell, who's not my teammate, in that race was kind of, what gave me that belief that, okay, I can do something in track. I was the second guy from California, and then was able to win the state meet in the 32 in track as a sophomore. Only the third person to ever do that. It was crazy. Getting invited to elite camp, had no idea what that was. And just making a bunch of awesome friends, and continuing to fall in love with the sport. Junior year, was the year I was like, okay, this is, I've won a state track meet, which is harder to do in California than cross. There's no divisions for track, but there is cross. So. Just the expectation of, being okay, I'm the guy that's going to win pretty much everything in California. Clovis, Liam Anderson had run the mile. He's, number 1 returner in the country for NXN. Okay, there's obviously him. Nika Young popped up that year, that cross season. So, just kind of doing my best. Unfortunately, falling ill week of the state meet, being on bronchitis meds for that, which was, that state meet was probably like the hardest race I've run, just like physically feeling awful. Like that was like just like not being able to breathe really. It was, like I finished and I was just like, oh, like thank God I'm done. I'm ready to just go get in the field position. And then, junior NXN was like, I'm still a little sick, but, I have, high hopes, and I'd be doing myself a disservice if I didn't go for it. Was able to get 8th, still, which obviously, even then had hopes of winning, squeaking out some sort of miracle that I think if I was healthy, I actually had a good chance of doing. And then, getting 8th there, while sick was like, oh man, I can win this next year. I know there's returners ahead of me, but I think I have a good chance of doing something big next year. Coming back for track, running, 8:47 in March was nuts. I guess fastest 32 time in March ever, apparently.
Impressive, man, for sure.
Which is, who cares about the fastest 32 time in March, but something that happened, and I hadn't really been doing any rules. So, that was, pretty cool. And then, being able to finish out the season strong with winning the mile and coming back and getting 3rd in the 2 mile, which was just like, that race was like just physically already being exhausted for running a 4:09 the night before and a 4:08 earlier. And then coming back running 8:57 was like, oh my God. They could barely walk after, and it was just like, oh, all right, I'm ready to be done. And then, doing 3 more weeks for Brooks was, that was a great experience that not sure if I'll do this year. I think I'll definitely see how the season goes. But, I do want to do U21 or U20 USAs and make a world's run, either in the 15 or the or race the 5K. We'll see how it goes. How the season looks and stuff. And then, this cross year, was really kind of our team year. We knew we had, we were the only ones who knew it up until 2 weeks ago. But, we believed we had the pieces to do something big. And, was really focused on, okay, knowing that, I have the ability to win stuff. It's just, that we only have the supporting cast to do something big. It's made it so much fun. Going for wins at big races, as a team was great. Feeling like we got a little bit given the short stick on the NXN bid after getting second in D1.
Yeah.
But that was something big for us. That's our highest Division 1 state meet finish as a program. We have like 7 or 9 D2 state championships as a team, but that's the highest we've done in D1. And team time record and all that good stuff. This is just really awesome. And then being able to go to NXN for a third time. Feeling like, okay, I've done like all the the rah. This is all of our cool Nike stuff. And just kind of being able to zone in on the race and feel good going into it, and just have the best performance that I can. And feel like I did that. So it was definitely an amazing 4 years of cross that I think was capped off very well. And I'm excited for another season of track before heading up to Portland for college. So
Nice.
yeah,
that was a great explanation, man. Walking me through your high school experience and your XC for sure. So what makes you reconsider considering not doing Brooks PR?
I think just with how long the season is.
Oh, okay.
Kind of, last week there was 3 weeks in between our state meet and Brooks, which was just like it felt so long. And luckily for me, Chase, my teammate who runs the 800 second in the state meet, was doing New Balance, was on the same day, so I had someone to run with. We were both like, this season has been so long, and like with the state meet being as hard as it was for me, it was just kind of ready to be done.
Oh, yeah.
But I think if I still have something that I need to prove in track, that I definitely will. But I hope by that time I'll be feeling like, okay, my track, high school track career I've done what I wanted to do, and hopefully it'll be done by then. If it's not, then I'll definitely be going for it, and Brooks will be the spot I'll do it. And then also just kind of ramping down on intensity, and trying to zone in on U20s, and make a run for worlds, is something that me, Coach Lane, Coach Connor are pretty excited about doing this year. So focusing kind of more on that after the state meet, I think is going to be kind of our plan. And we'll see. Maybe Brooks will fit into it, maybe it won't. But we're focusing on USA's and being a champ there. So yeah, that's kind of the thinking behind it.
So wait, so you mentioned about PE, like you have to do PE, like cross country doesn't cover PE.
So actually, funny story. So freshman sophomore year at my school required a PE, and for my 2 years, athletes did not get an exemption. My junior year, they implemented sports counting as PE, which is also the year that our freshman class doubled our team size. So it was, I think, unfortunate that we didn't have that when I was younger. But now that we have that, the teams, more than doubled than what it was my freshman year, which is insane. And they're only gonna get bigger because they've still got one more class that's pretty small, and I'm sure the next class coming in is gonna be huge. So Jesuits, doing, I think that was a good move on them to implement that. I wish I had that, and just having an extra free period would have been nice. But yeah, that's kind of just how it was, and we didn't complain about it too much.
Okay. So you start cross practice at 3?
Yeah, so this summer we in the summer rather we start at 6:30, which is for some of us, Jesuit being the school that it is, I drive. If there's no traffic, 20 minutes to get there. There's kids that drive 30, 40 to get there. So that's it's something we do, and it's something we do because we love the school. And it is definitely the best school in the area and the place that if you want to be successful in life, I would recommend going to if you are in the Sacramento area. It's an amazing school all around. And the cross country coaching staff is probably the best anywhere, and was the best that'll set you up for college and professionally anywhere, I think, in my humble opinion. But yeah, and then so we do 6:40 or 6:30 practice basically as long as we could in the school year until it's too dark. And then we switch to 3, and we'll do 3 until summer training, really.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
That's interesting because I thought that like your school or like other schools, have PE, having cross country considered like substitute for like PE. So yeah.
Yeah. Some schools even have like you do like cross country practice in PE and after school, so you kind of get like a double that way and stuff, which would be cool if they implemented that. But I've kind of just taken to I use my free period to lift and that sort of thing. Which works out pretty nice, and we were fortunate enough that when I came to Coach Jay my sophomore year and saying, "Hey, I want to implement a cross country weights program. Do you think you could help us out with that?" I was very eager to take it on, and was super willing to work with us, and it's just been great. So shout out to him for what he's done for us. I think he's been a big part in keeping me and the other guys healthy, and getting me to where I am. Playing just as big a role as the other coaches. Um,
Nice. Yeah, because like my school, like we don't have PE. We just have like cross country or track for instead of PE. Got it. Okay. And going back to the party at NXN the hotel on Saturday night, was there anybody that you were surprised that had like some good dancing moves?
oh man, I think I saw. I forget who it was. I think it was the Jesuit Portland girls actually. That were kind of in the middle of things, kind of running the show almost. There's a lot more just like kind of just a giant mosh pit of things. I did see there's I don't know who they were, but they had like the like highlighter vests. Like if you're in a caution vest, like if you're in a construction site, you could wear those for visibility and stuff. But I forget, I don't know who they were, but they were kind of off to the side dancing, and they looked like they knew what they were doing more than anyone else. So
Nice. All right. And how was the guest speaker Ryan on Saturday? And like, what are some things that he talked about, and some of the biggest takeaway from that speech?
yeah, I actually really liked that speech. I think it was super cool. If anyone who wants to be an elite athlete, I think should go and watch that video, or like the video of that talk. He gave some very great pointers on mindset. Kind of the 6 things. We all got like a paper with all the 6 on them, and definitely something giving us like a lot of like, okay, this is what the best in the world do, and if this is what if I want to be the best in the world, then I should probably start doing this now and honing it in. As I'm still developing as a high school athlete, and as a college athlete, I can start working in and becoming even better. I think it was kind of cool seeing that some of the things I already did, and the other ones would just be easy to implement. So yeah, I think that was probably like the coolest talk of the entire thing.
Nice. Dang, I missed out. I should have, because I was in the hotel and like just resting. I was pretty tired. But I guess gotta check it out and see if they have it. I'm pretty sure they have it in Runner Space. So I would definitely check out the
Yeah,
video for sure.
yeah, they post everything.
Right. And what did you do? Like, what are some things that you learned last year from the race that you did differently this year in NXN?
Yeah, I think, um, man, last year I think was kind of more of a survival mode race for me. Just kind of just go out, hang on, and just try and finish. Still being sick was kind of my reason for that, and kind of like having kind of almost like desperate, animal instinct style race. Whereas this one was more okay. I'm gonna be, it's all more calculated. I'm gonna be, keep these guys in range. As the sorry, excuse me. As the race develops, obviously, the plan changes. You got to be adaptable and that sort of thing. So, just keeping the guys close that I feel like I should be keeping close, and just really working. That last 1K, because there's always big moves made there in the top. That's kind of what separates the top 10. Is that last 1K is everyone just kind of pulls away, and you're just you know, every year you kind of just kind of have to grit down and work for it a little extra hard there. Um, so just being more prepared for that than last year. Was I think something big for me, and just kind of was what was able to give me the finish that I had. Being able to finish super strong and have a big kick and all that was kind of being mentally ready for okay, this last 1K is gonna be pretty blazing fast, and I need to try and get it as fast as I can, and that's how I'm gonna do my damage. I think was probably my biggest racing strategy, and then just making sure not to get lost in anything. Any of the stuff before the race, that's something very easy to do. Just kind of feel like, oh wow, we're at Nike. Oh there's you know so and so famous runner. Um, let me run around the whole time before let me play basketball or whatever. It's like, nope, I'm gonna be in the athlete rounds. I'm gonna play on the Xbox. I'm gonna, sit in the chairs and talk to people. I'm gonna go to the Q&A and get off my feet. Um, just doing everything I can to have the best race I could. I think before was another big change I made.
Nice. Wait, so you played basketball last year and like and didn't like go to the Q&A and stuff like that?
I personally didn't. I know. I think it was more last year was more in like the ping pong games that were going on. But there's a few guys that I overheard running like, oh, we should go play basketball, and you know, so just keeping like just being more locked in on the race was something I did better this time.
And speaking about pro runners, what are some pro runners that you have dinner with at the headquarters?
Yeah, we got to eat with Kate Grace the night before the race. Super cool. She actually remembered me from last year, which I thought was awesome.
Nice.
So it was good to chat with her. Get her insights on surrounding stuff. Talk about California and because she's from California and all that good stuff. And just have a lot of fun with her and that night and just seeing other pros. Ran with Grant Fisher on Thursday before I did my tempo. So that was cool, and just catching up with or being able to be around those people is always awesome and inspiring.
So what was the best advice that you got from the pro runners?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think it was probably just actually kind of talking to Kate Grace and that before, with her being kind of a late bloomer to the elite running scene, was being patient. That you don't have to win the race. On Saturday, when at that time it was win the race tomorrow, but like you don't need to win. You don't even need to be in a sense in the race at all. You can still be someone who's not qualifying for NXN and make it as a pro if you work hard enough. So I think that's something pretty big for me, and it was kind of a nice thing that relaxed me a little bit. Going into it was like this isn't the fate of the world tomorrow. It's just another stepping stone. Whatever happens is gonna happen, and I'll just use that as a boost in the future.
Nice. And what was your favorite part of NXN?
Sorry, what was that? You cut out a little
What was
bit.
your favorite part of NXN? What was your favorite experience?
I think just being around friends, seeing the elite camp people is, always awesome. And, that's kind of the one time a year where we're pretty much all together, which is really fun. They're great people and, great friends that I have that, it's hard when, you live across the country from them. So, super cool to see them. Got to see my Portland teammates. Had some family there and stuff that I hadn't seen in a while. So, that's for me, that's probably the coolest part of it. Seeing all those people and getting to hang out with them.
Nice. And what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind as a cross country runner and yeah, at Jesuit, and also just as a runner in general in the nation as well?
Yeah, I think for Jesuit, just kind of for the guys that are here currently, just someone they can just remember is he was our teammate. Like he's someone we hang out with. After practice on the weekends. He's human, and we can do that too if we work hard, which I think is something, that I want to pass on. Kind of as my legacy is, be a good teammate, be a good friend, work hard, and you can, do great things. It's kind of my, that's kind of that's what I want to leave behind as my message for those guys. As on the national scene, where it's a little more impersonal, I'd like to be someone that's remembered as, I've, been on the kind of the top end scene since sophomore year, which is kind of crazy to think about. But someone that I think what am I saying? My goal is to leave track season, as someone who's always improved and has always moved more and more towards that top spot, and hopefully ends, with that top spot in what is probably the greatest class of all time. So just doing my best, to leave the legacy of, being, the GOAT or whatever. Is definitely the goal for this track season. We'll be working really hard over this winter break, in between seasons, and just going for that. Trying to run as crazy fast as possible, and set a national record or two on the track, hopefully.
Nice. And what do you love about cross country?
I think definitely for me, the best part about cross country is the team part. Having those guys there is probably the best thing. Being able to run for someone other than myself and a purpose other than myself. Is great. I had all my teammates' names written on my left arm sleeve and my coaches, and I have all my friends on my right arm sleeve.
And
Just to kind of, if I was ever, I kind of use this, if I'm ever hurting, look down and remember who's watching right now and who I'm running for, and was just kind of able to do something special for them because, they're, what makes running so easy is, having those people, they make it fun. So, definitely, the people I'm around is, the best part for me.
okay, nice. Yeah, for sure about the team aspect. What is the biggest thing that cross country has taught you, and what you learned from that sport?
I think it's, be a good teammate first. That's, you can be the greatest athlete or whatever, but if you're not a good person, no one's really gonna like you. And I think just being there for other people, and that's kind of been a Jesuit thing as well, is men for others. I think being running for someone other than yourself, running for your team, doing your best to be a good teammate every day, contributing for a team, is probably what's that's kind of what's up.
Nice. And what's your goal for this upcoming track season, and what are some of the things that you're looking forward to the most this track season?
Yeah. I think my goals are to break four. That's first and foremost, number one on that list.
Nice.
Getting under 8:30 and the 32 would be pretty great. And I'd like to beat Chase Gordon in 1/800 early in the season and never run it again because I hate that race. Love you, bud. And that's kind of the goal. Maybe get six state championships would be nice, but when you share a state with Nico Young, that's going to be pretty hard. But be cool to get an Infinity Gauntlet of state championships if I don't say so myself. So I'm sitting on four right now, getting six. While I know admittedly unrealistic having to run 2:16s and then a 32, and running the 32 against Nico Young, hope realistically shooting for five, but just keeping in mind that there's a possibility for six, and that's what we're going for. So yeah,
Nice.
and, setting up myself to run well at each one of USA's and hopefully making worlds.
For sure, dude. Yeah, I wish you the best for sure this track season, and hopefully you can accomplish your goals, man, for sure. Yeah, dude, Matt, thank you so much for taking time for the interview, man. It was great talk with you, man, and yeah, it was great to have you on. Like for those who like to follow you, where can people follow you on social media?
Yeah, really, I only do Instagram at Matt_Strangio. I don't, don't have a Twitter or Facebook yet. Just kind of, keeping there. I have a Snapchat, but I really only use that for like closer friends, and I don't really check it ever. Sorry, guys. But yeah, just Instagram Matt_Strangio. I try and be as active as I can on it, and people send me messages. I do my best to respond. There do get to be quite a lot of them sometimes, especially like around state meet NXN. So it takes me a while to get through them, but I am I'm not a pro athlete. I don't have like 10,000 DMs. I try and do my best to respond because I have a memory of when I was younger going to a soccer game, San Jose Earthquakes game, 2014 World Cup, I believe. Right around that time, wanting to get an autograph from Chris Wondolowski and him, which I found out later was running off to go to the World Cup tryout thing. Didn't know that at the time, but was trying to get an interview from him, and he just kind of had to run away. Didn't sign any autographs, and I was like, I never want to be that guy that makes a kid feel bad about not either saying hi or giving an autograph.
Right.
And so just do my best to respond. I try, guys. And also if Chris Lundahl somehow sees this, I don't hate you. You're still one of my favorite players, and I learned later that he was going off to do bigger and more important things. Was really kind of excited to see that someone from what's the closest team to me was going to play for a World Cup squad. So that was super cool. Gotta make sure I don't burn any bridges. And just so I'll do my best to respond to things. If people come up to me ever, I won't shy away from a picture or an autograph, whatever you want, even if it's not around a running scene, which has happened once or twice, which kind of blows me away. And just I want to make people happy. We are entertainers after all. As athletes. So that's kind of if you want to reach out, feel free at Matt_Strangio on Instagram, and yeah.
That's great, man. Well, thank you so much again, and hope you have a great night, Matt.
All right, yeah, you too.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Bye.
Night. Thank you.
No problem.